Hi loves, and welcome to my channel. My name is Erica. This is GypsyCowgirlTarot. I am a psychic medium, oracle, and prophetess. So I hope everyone is having a good day. Welcome, welcome. As you have seen in the title, this is a past life energy reading for the collective. I'm going to see just what comes through, messages, guidance. There's probably going to be things maybe that are healing for you, you know, all that good stuff, all that jazz. Sorry guys, hold on one moment. Okay. So sorry. All right, so first I think I'm going to start with ancestors, angels and ancestor oracle. And see what comes through. Many of you guys there's a lot of past life, you know, stuff coming up, connecting more to your past life, memories, you know, stuff, even remembering stuff that were like knowledges, you know, and wisdoms that you held, being very drawn to certain things at this time has a lot to do with your past life, has a lot to do with like the stuff that maybe you're guided to in this lifetime, but a lot of it connects to who you've been in past lives, who you've always been in past lives, right? So let's just see what comes through. Okay, I'm getting a lot of Lemuria and Atlantis energy here, and I know a lot of old souls come to my channel. You know, younger souls too, of course, but I do have a lot of like older, ancient kind of, you know, energy here. All right. I keep getting like blacksmith, like I keep getting like blacksmith and soot and, you know, that kind of thing. Like just seeing like, it's almost like medievally, like those of you guys who maybe have watched Game of Thrones, it would be like where they call, in King's Landing, Flea Bottom, where all the like workers are and blacksmiths and stuff like that, you know. I'm hearing like clink, 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 like, you know, working with iron and like metals and like, so that's going to resonate for some of you guys, possibly. The she-wolf, unleash the wild within. Beautiful. We do have this full moon, super full moon, blue moon coming up here. That's going to be really powerful. It's going to be really powerful, but for it coming out in this message and me channeling it the way that I am, it's like this full moon and just a lot of the transits happening right now astrologically. It's confirming here that you're going to start having dreams at night about past lives. You may even, you know, be living in those past lives when you're asleep, maybe traveling to other timelines and things like that, right? And we do know that like everything is happening simultaneously all at once, right? So you could be connecting very heavily to one of those timelines. Okay, so unleash the wild within. So, you know, in past lives, for many of you guys, you've always been someone who marched to the beat of your own drum. You have always been like a visionary, innovative, someone who's very connected to the moon, maybe possibly even to the nighttime in general. You know, like a night owl, right? Native American energy is coming through very strongly. You know, the Hopi tribe, Hopi prophecy. I'm hearing Navajo, Lakota, you know, and it could be anything of that nature, but this is very strong Native American energy, where maybe you've been very sensitive in this lifetime to stories of Native Americans and just the stuff that happened, you know, when they were invaded, you know, and things of that nature here in this country. And you've just connected, you know, to Native American culture, or, you know, certain eras in time, because you actually were there, you lived it, you know. I'm specifically seeing a woman giving birth in a teepee, and there's lots of like, it's like there's herbs burning, smoke, you know, the blankets are all animal skins, you know, that kind of thing. You know, there's chanting and singing, a little bit drumming. You know, so that's definitely coming through very strongly. But that's just, you know, I guess some kind of ceremonial thing that maybe they do or have, you know, did during birth. But I think it's also symbolic of, you know, for some of you guys, I'm getting the word doula, a doula. So maybe you have been called to become a doula, or maybe that's something that you've always been kind of interested in. Like, that would be really neat. But I am getting that, like, this is a part of your healer side. This is a part of your, you know, priestess energy, right? But it's the healer, the shaman. It's the doula. It's, you know, it's the one who helps bring life into the world through the sacred feminine portal. You know, and with the moon here, that is about divine feminine. This is also letting you know here, right? Like I said, that you've always been a wild one. You've always been, you know, a way shower. And it's time for you to unleash the wild within at this time, okay? You may be very drawn to like feathers, you know, certain kind of like, you know, birds of prey, like the eagle or the hawk spirit, the eagle spirit, you know, the falcon spirit, the owl spirit. I do get that. Also the wolves. You know, I am getting for some of you guys out there, you know, you've been in, you know, in these past lives, and, you know, you've been in prominent positions. You know, you've also been in like not so prominent positions, but what I'm getting is like, you know, like daughter of the chief, or, you know, stuff like that, right? So warrior, for some of you guys out there, you were the warrior, you know. I'm actually seeing like a tomahawk, you know, riding horse bareback, no saddle. I'm getting like Indian races with the horse. So some of you guys, you know, maybe you've always thought that was cool, or maybe you just like horse races in general, or I don't know. I'm just sharing everything that comes through. The water guardian, connect with your emotions. And then shapeshifter, holy shit. This does not surprise me at all, because literally what I was just gonna get ready to say is, you know how I said in the beginning, I was getting a lot of Atlantis and Lemuria vibes, okay? She's got like angelic wings or something, but look at, she's got like scales, like mermaid scales, right? And she is the water guardian, right? Even her wings have like almost like fish-like scales, right? This is mermaid energy. Just take the wings out of it. I mean, who knows? Who are we to say that there was never, you know, some kind of like mer being that had wings? They could fly and were waterbound. Who knows? And then I was going to say that, you know, the mer energy, because, you know, for many of us, when we were in Lemuria, Atlantis, we were able to shapeshift at will. We could will it, you know, where we could, you know, have our sea fins or our land legs, you know, like that. Okay. Quite literally, like, you know, like a real Ariel from the Little Mermaid, you know, except that was like a curse spell, whatever, you know, but we were able to do that, is the point, right? You may have even been able to shapeshift into having wings, right? I mean, look at Mother Isis, like the winged form of Isis. I just saw 1010 and then 111, right, as I say Isis, okay? So my point is, I'm not surprised that shapeshifter came out. Transform and unveil your gifts. This is exactly what I'm talking about too. Like this past life message, this past life reading, which if you guys like this, if you guys enjoy this, let me know down below in the comments. Of course, like it, because that shows me that, yeah, Erica, like this, like I enjoyed this. Like I want more of this past life energy stuff to come through. Because even though it's a collective message, right? There's going to be things that, you know, many of you guys resonate, because it's so many of us, we've had past lives in certain places or at certain times, or right. And you know, the way that stuff works is like, even people who were drawn to like certain readers channels, you know, readers like myself that like talk about things and not just like shuffle a love message for 5 seconds and then pop off, you know, I mean like the gurus and the teachers and the sages and the priestesses, right? You're drawn to us because, you know, obviously not for all of you, but for some, like we may have brushed shoulders in a past life, or crossed paths at some point in a past life, or you know what I mean? And so basically a lot of like our past life people and like friends and like just, you know, or acquaintances or anything, you know, there is a good chance that they could be, we meet them in this lifetime, or we see them, or like this, we maybe, you know, subscribe to their channel or whatever, right? There could be a familiarity around that. But anyways, this is about the shapeshifter. So, I mean, this is a human, a humanoid, and they're showing you all of the ways that he shapeshifts. Okay. I think that's a hawk, I mean, a falcon. Or no, that's not a falcon. An eagle? An eagle. I don't know. The snake, the wolf. He's got like the fox fur going on here. Okay. Or whatever. That almost looks like to me like a cat-like eye. Okay. But he can take off many different forms. So you guys have been shapeshifters. All right. For some of you guys, you may already know that. For some of you guys, maybe you had, you know, a dream or vision or whatever, or you've seen yourself in a different form, or you just always knew, maybe you had this inner knowing of something like that, you know, and maybe you don't at all, right? Maybe this is just like, whoa, that's kind of cool. You know, if it resonates with you, then there's a good chance, you know, or if it just like hits your intuition, that could be that. So shape-shifting mermaids, people, mermen. Okay, I want to talk about that. Let's just see what else comes out. For some of you guys out there, right, with the water guardian and the energy that I'm getting with that, you know, you could be very, very drawn to the ocean and water, and you know, maybe since you were a very young child or whatever, maybe you were, you know, you believed in mythical creatures. Like when you saw mermaids, you believed they're real. Mermaids are real. For some of you guys, right, with the shapeshifter, when you were younger or whatever, your imagination, quote, imagination, really what it was your past life memories as a child before, you know, your pineal gland started calcifying and, you know, just things started getting blocked off. Maybe you really believed that, you know, if you closed your eyes and you tried hard enough, that you could turn into something else, you know, or that you could fly, you know, because maybe you remember flying from a past life. I do get that very strongly, actually. And look at this, I'm shuffling, talking, and then the card pops, and lo and behold, what is it? It's a feather. 1444. Literally, as the guardian angel shows up, we get the 444. 1444. 100,000 angels, a legion of angels just showed up. That's another thing for some of you guys, you know, in a past life, for some of you guys, you've been an angel, you know, or in a past life, you know, or you have angelic blood somehow, or in your lineage or whatever, you know, like your ethereal lineage. The guardian angel, you are not alone. And then look at that, the fire guardian, another angel. Ignite your passions. Unleash the wild within. That's crazy though. The guardian angel feather showed up, but it specifically showed up as I was talking about being able to fly. And then it's a feather, like, right? Confirmation. And then the fire guardian, I mean, he literally has wings. He can fly, right? You guys have had past lives where you had wings, where you could fly, or you shape-shifted. I know that the mermaid thing is going to really connect. You guys really connect with like ocean life, ocean energy. Maybe you love being at the beach, or you just feel this like extreme, like nostalgic pull and call and like, you know, love for the ocean and the beach, you know. For some of you guys, it might be the polar opposite of that, because for some of you guys in a past life or something where you're still holding trauma from it, and it's a trigger, you died at sea or at the ocean, you know, in a past life at some time, on a ship, or, you know, I don't know, maybe, you know, crossing from, you know, like it would be like crossing from like, you know, Europe to the Americas, to the colonies is what they called it, right? Back in the day when this place was first founded, and before the states were even formed, and it was just colonies. Maybe you got sick, you know, it was very common back then, right? For us to experience things like this, right? Where, you know, you're on a ship for 3 or 4 months crossing the ocean to another place, another land, and there's some kind of like outbreak or virus, or, you know, there's been the Black plagues, like lots of stuff that we've experienced and gone through. Or you just fall ill over something that, you know, could be anything, but there's no doctor, you don't have medical, you don't have, you know, you're not, you know, and there's nothing you could do. You just had to write it out, go through it and become better, or go through it and pass. So for some of you guys, you know, there's just maybe that energy. Maybe you don't like boats. Maybe you are like, no, I would never get on like a cruise ship, or I would never get on a sailboat, or, you know, maybe you would never kayak even, you know, stuff like that. Okay. Is what I'm getting. All right. So with these messages though, it's also about like your current lifetime. Like, it's time to unleash the wild within. It's time to, I'm hearing howl at the moon, howl at the moon. But yeah, like the she-wolf, like, you know, why not? Like Shakira got it right with her she-wolf song, right? Like seriously, right? I love Shakira, but it is about that. Like, go wild, go crazy. Like, what are you waiting for? Like, you know, back in the day, like, you know, in past lives and stuff, like, you know, many of you guys, sure, maybe you've had past lives where, you know, other lifetimes where maybe you were more, you know, conservative, or maybe you were born into a family that was like, you know, wealthy and very prim and proper, and like, no, we don't do that and this, right? Sure, there's always these like possibilities, but, you know, I do feel that a lot of you guys are these like wild souls, these untamable, quote, right? Like souls that you crave that energy because it's a part of you. Connection with nature, animals, dancing, singing, songs, rituals, you know, drumming, chanting, you know, even the way like you dress, you know, like maybe deep down you feel like, I would love to like dress this way, but God, I don't want to be stared at in public or something, right? And like, you know, maybe you want to wear a headdress out to the mall. I don't know. No, I'm just kidding. But it's like, you know, if you want to wear like long feather earrings and, you know, jewelry on every hand and like, you know, like certain type, do it. Like, we are not here to live this life for anybody. And that's what this point of these messages are. You know, I'm honestly feeling very called and guided to like start doing some past life messages for you guys, because of the energies that will come through in the healing. But I'm not going to do them if like, you know what I mean? If the views are low and nobody's in, you know, then that shows me it's kind of, you know, and I'm not saying like, like the video because of that, but it does show me, you know, so, but anyways, it'll always help and find who it needs to find no matter what, which is, you know, the biggest thing. So, okay. Guardian angel energy here. Yes, your guardian angels are with you. You are not alone. You are never alone. But I'm also getting like very intense ancestor energy. It's like your ancestors, your, you know, loved ones on the other side, you know, people, like things like that, right? They want you to know like we're always with you. You're never alone. You know, all of that. Ignite your passions. What are you good at? What do you love to do? What are things that light you up? You know, this has been coming up a lot. Following our passions, our creativity. The shaman, trust the higher forces. And then the sky father, trust in the unknown. There's the eagle, another, and the owl. A lot of like that energy here. There's a lot of divine communication happening for you right now between you and spirit, source, ancestors, your guides, angels. You know, they're communicating in all kinds of different ways, possibly through animals. You know, maybe they send you animals or spirit animals come to you, through lights, through sound, through music. You know, lights flickering, a candle flickers, you know, I don't know, you know, the headlight in your car vehicle, right, like turns on out of nowhere, you know, things of that nature. That's how they communicate a lot of times. So, but, you know, obviously through like numbers, numerology, stuff like that, but they're just like, we're talking to you, we're, you know, but the lines of communication is what I'm getting is open. So connect, like, take time to like sit and connect, close your eyes, like, you know, connect with your spirit guides and see what comes through. Some of you guys, you know, the shaman, you've been shamans in past lives. Maybe you are being called to do shamanic work in this lifetime. You know, go through the medicine wheel, learn about soul, you know, soul retrieval, soul healing, you know, all kinds of stuff. And then trust in the unknown. And then look at that, harnessing mystic power, the high priestess. So again, confirmation, you guys, you have, you know, the sky father is like, if I'm not wrong, what the Native Americans like called, you know, like basically it's like their God. It was the sky father. And the eagle was sacred and worship to them, you know? Okay, I'm also getting very intense like Mayan culture here for some reason coming through. So for some of you guys, it's the Mayan and Aztec culture, all right, where you feel connections to, you feel ties to. Maybe you've always wanted to go to the Mayan ruins or whatever, right? I'm getting that very strongly. Of course, with her energy showing up, this is ancient Egypt. Okay. All right, so ancient Egypt, Lemuria, Atlantis. Okay, and for some reason with all this blue, I'm being very called to, this is like a star race, a galactic race, the blue avians. Okay, they're basically like a quite tall, blue, obviously kind of humanoid with almost like a beak, you know, but with a beak kind of energy, but it's not like a long, you know, it's like a shorter beak. But I mean, I feel that there can be different ones. They're like the same essentially, you know, but with a beak. So you could be connected to the blue avians. Maybe, I don't know, you've traveled there at some point, spent time there in a lifetime at some point. Could be very connected to them. I think for a lot of you guys too, like Sirius, I feel like you guys are Sirian starseeds. Many of you guys are going to connect to the water planet of Sirius, where it's where the mer people, dolphins, the whales, you know, that kind of stuff descended to Earth in the time of Lemuria and Atlantis. They came from Sirius. Also Mintanka, okay, which no longer, quote, exists, right? But maybe some of you guys are, you know, you have that Mintanka energy, starseed energy. But again, very drawn to like the water, crystal waters, you know, which would look like Caribbean waters, Hawaiian waters, you know, waters in Thailand and stuff like that, Bali. That's what I see. That's what I get. So maybe you're very drawn to places like that, but definitely a lot of like that Lemurian energy here. Okay. You could be drawn to Lemurian crystals, but high priestess energy. And then the cat here, boss, is, you know, like a protector and all this stuff. But also for me, it's about having a familiar, you know, a soulmate energy, someone who comes in to, you know, connect with you essentially. But you guys might be very drawn and connected to cats, lions, cougars, you know, things of that nature, but specifically like cats. You recognize how powerful they are, how magical they are. Maybe you've always loved cats. I'm definitely one of those people. Lots of like, you know, high priest, like witch energies. We do, you know, we are very connected to the cat, right? You know, and just like, you know, we feel very drawn and connected to the owl or to, you know, but the cat is, for many of us, like our familiar in a sense, right? So you already harness mystic power. It's within you. And that's what this is saying. It's like, this is all the energies for, you know, that you connect to, right? And of course, like I said, it's collective. So it's not going to be every single thing for every single person, but you might be drawn to a lot of this. You might feel like, yeah, Erica, that's crazy. That just slid out. You know, I've always been very drawn to mermaids, and, you know, there's this thing about shape-shifting that really, like, I just feel so connected to, or yeah, I've had a feeling that I could do that. Or when I was a kid, yeah, I did believe that, you know, all of that. The Sky Father, like some of you guys could just be very connected to, in general, to the sky, to the clouds. And then at nighttime, like, you know, the nighttime sky, possibly the stars and all that. I know that for many of you guys, you do connect to the moon very heavily. I mean, many of us do. I mean, that's kind of like, you know, a lot of light workers or mystics and people like us, right? But if that part's for you, you're gonna know, because it's gonna hit you like right in the heart, in the soul, and you're gonna be like, yeah, like I just feel extra drawn to the nighttime sky or to the cosmos or whatever, right? Okay, but this one just slid out. It's the Oracle. Wait for important information. Okay, so what this means is, like, again, how I said in the beginning when I was sharing, I said that this is a time, you know, where I feel there's a lot of past life stuff coming up, past life memories, wisdom, knowledges, all that. That for me is confirming this. And when I saw like the teepee and like the smoke and just everything, you know, this is what I mean. It was like bowls of like herbs and stuff burning, and, you know, that kind of stuff, torches that they've made inside, like things of that nature. This is definitely like hardcore. Like you guys, have identified many times, many lifetimes as an oracle, as a seer. There's important information coming to you that's going to help you somehow in this lifetime, and it comes from your past lives. All right, some of you guys out there may be drawn to wear like a red scarf or scarves over your head, your crown chakra, right? Again, jewelry, things of this nature. If you're called to wear certain things or whatever, do it. Who cares what other people think? It's time to unleash the wild within, ignite your passions. Okay, trust in the higher forces. Now, what I'm getting here too is the higher forces, okay, are helping you to be guided to, you know, the things that you are called to do and meant to do. You know, again, they're showing you a lot. And then very last card here is the Magic Guardian. She's been on the bottom of the deck for a while, but I was just channeling again with like smoke stuff. So some of you guys, you really need to, you know, maybe do some smudging, some cleansing, you know, burn some incense and set intention though. Like I'm cleansing, la, 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 right? Open up a window. I suggest one in the back of the house, one in the front of the house. So there's this flow through of air, right? But unlock your magic within. It's time. And that's what they're coming through and saying too. Like a lot of your guides and stuff are helping you to remember to unlock your magic from your past of who you truly are, to remember your power, you know, to know that like you're this crazy, powerful, like super intelligent, badass, like, you know, magician energy. You know, you are the sage, the wise sage for many of you guys, right? There it is. There's the seer. I just said like you're the oracle and the seer. So many of you guys have been these, right? It's like, you know, I'm also getting like you've been, you know, high priests and high priestesses in Atlantis and things like that. But also I'm getting very strong Avalon energy here. Okay. Ireland, Scotland. I'm hearing Belgium, Sweden. I'm hearing Danish, which I know is like not a country, right? But Danish. There's Viking energy here. Just a lot. You know, again, I'm seeing like the movie Braveheart, like that era is where I'm seeing it. Now I'm being drawn to the era of like the movie Troy. Like, oh my gosh. Okay. So just a lot, right? But you guys are these seers. You guys are these mystical people who, you know, by putting certain herbs in a bowl and lighting smoke, you can connect, you know, to other dimensions and see things, you know, and, you know, connect and retrieve information possibly, or connect to a person or a being in another timeline or a dimension and communicate, or, you know, whatever it is. And then, you know, also being able to be prophetic, predict, see, and taste and smell psychically, and, you know, all your clairs, like just things like that. Like this shows like she doesn't need her eyes to see. She can see just fine. Okay. Divination using crystal balls, things of that nature, doing scrying, you know. You guys are going to start remembering a lot, getting called to do a lot, you know, with this kind of stuff. So, all right. So I do love you guys. If you do want to book an actual personal past life or Akashic reading, right? Or it's past life Akashic, I shouldn't say or. Same thing. You can find the information down below in the description box. Also, for general reading, it's there. And then I do offer a 20-minute vent sesh, as well as energetic healing sessions. Again, where my past lives and intuitive healing and all my things, light language, come through to assist in bringing healing to you, doing clearing work, activations, things of that nature. So, okay. So I just wanted to pull one card from the Priestess Oracle. Priestess of Light Oracle, I think is what it's called. The Priestess of Light, or Priestess of Light. All right, let's see. Miracles, card number 39. All right. She's got, I don't know what kind of bird that is, but she's got a bird. She's dressed, obviously, very ancient looking. I'm hearing Mesopotamia. Okay, so for some of you guys, you've had past lives in Mesopotamia. The Jordan River, I'm getting the Jordan River. Some of you guys, you were actual like disciples with like Jesus and that whole movement and all that, which we know is like the same movement that we're all doing here on earth at this time of light work, right? They were just like so like next level, because he was trained in, you know, certain ways and by certain people. And Mother Mary is like this, like super high priestess, and like, you know, went to mystery schools her whole life. Same thing with Mary Magdalene. So they were connecting to, but here's the thing is, many of us, we can do those things. The alchemy that was in the manifesting, the instant, you know, alchemization and manifestation of water into wine, you know, creating all those fish that he, you know, everything that Jesus did, you know, many of them were able to create miracle energy like that as well. In fact, Mary Magdalene taught Jesus a lot. But because of the era, you know, which is, again, that patriarchal rule and all of that, right? Women were not allowed. It was like offensive, you know, in a way. So Jesus was the front man. Jesus, you know, and of course he was a powerful healer and light too, but Mary Magdalene was right there by his side, you know. Ancient wisdom, holy shit. I just like actually went to go read the card. You guys. Ancient wisdom, miracles. Expect miracles, okay? You're going to think it's a miracle. How do I know this? This is crazy. I'm so good at this. I just naturally was drawn to this, but I already know. You know, I've used the analogy before of like stuff being activated within you where like maybe you're meant to work with crystals or do work with crystals, healing with crystals. And just out of nowhere, like you're just able, like, oh, I know what that is. You know, it's called a blah, 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 blah. Or you just naturally know you're in tune with the metaphysical properties and physical healing properties of certain things, crystals, herbs. Ancient wisdom is coming through, my love. I told you guys. Expect miracles. And then bottom of the deck is healing the heart. The power of self-love. It's like the more that you've been healing, the more that, right, that you've been healing, the more that you've been rising, and the more that you've been opening up, and the more that you've been remembering. It's just like this, it's just layer after layer after layer of like, you know, peeling off the onion, but like each layer that's peeled back, it like brings forth wisdom and insight and intuition and upgrades. And do you know what I mean? It's like that. Okay. All right. So also though, I feel like you guys are showing people, you know, how to really love themselves, and like you're exhibiting that, embodying that. And, you know, you've influenced people in one way or the next. And there is divine reward for that, like good karma. Okay. When you help people, right, raise their vibration or just whatever, right? Help them realize something that brings them more into an alignment, encourages them to want to love on themselves, right? Like that's good karma, you guys. Like, you know, and the energy that I feel is like for some of you guys, yeah, you do this for work or you're connected to it somehow for work. But it's also, you know, just you don't even realize how you've helped, and you don't even realize, you know, why you're receiving the good karma, but you are. But you guys have just been putting love out there. There we go. One last one. The Order of the Melchizedek. Embraced by the light, mission uncovered, and don't give up. Holy shit. Thank you, Spirit, for always backing me up. Like, this is crazy. Ancient wisdom, and then boom. The Order of the Melchizedek. Some of you guys are connected to the Melchizedek, right? You are embraced by the light. Okay? So, past life energy, right? Like, this whole message, mission uncovered, meaning your ancient wisdom and knowledges are coming in. Don't give up. Have faith. Have patience. You are receiving a lot of stuff right now. All right? Some of you guys are going to be able to, you know, open portal. Like, there's all kinds of stuff. There's all kinds of stuff. But your mission is being uncovered to you. So if you're in a place where you feel like, you know, I feel like I am the healer and all these things, right? Like Spirit is guiding you, and you're going to start just naturally like remembering or knowing certain things that are going to help you to uncover your mission, to know where to go. What's your next steps? What's your next move? Just don't give up. Just don't give up. All right. So have a beautiful day, my loves. I send you guys love and light. Thank you again for all of your love and support. Mwah.